Okay, I've got steel. I've got a couple other things. This Scoutmaster was good, although a little odd sometimes. At one point, we were camping in a forest somewhere on a road trip and found a foreleg of some hoofed animal. Called it a cow leg. It's probably elk. Took one look at it, told one scout to grab the pot from the stove, said about getting us to sterilize it so we could put it in the trailer and take it back home. Huh. I mean, I was gonna question it if he ate it, but no, that's just kind of redneck hobby stuff. I've seen some weird roadkill trophies back home. And Cody, you were not actually banned, you were timed out. To explain the origin of the Bodhi no Crashy for people that have apparently missed it and somehow missed the title. People keep telling me to use lighthouses, which has gotten infuriating, and I'm losing my shit over it a little bit. Let's build a deposit. And so now if anybody says the word lighthouse in this stream, they get timed out. It's not a ban, it's a very temporary thing. Unless of course you keep doing it, at which point I think the timing gets more and more egregious as you go along. Anyway, I need a little bit more steel. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I don't know. Okay, but this will get us crystal, which we need. But no, I will not ban people unless they're actually being awful or like ignoring me. I know there was somebody that was refusing to call me anything other than daddy in the stream a while back. Actually, a while back. I think that was a week ago. Yeah, I banned that kind of fast because he definitely wasn't changing. I think he also shouted out a racial epithet, which like that is ultra not okay. Never ever go to a stream and start like yelling slurs because woohoo, you are going to get banned quick. Oh, or at least on my channel. I don't know. I have little tolerance for hate or bigotry or anything of the sort. Okay, let's put away the gems. We don't want them right now. What else do we need? Seaweeds, probably a good thing to put away. I'll put away the jelly. I gotta make some more of these. But either way, inventory is no longer going to be super full. I gotta get some more mining rods. Oof. But like, it's kind of okay if it's like an occasional thing, but this was like super creepy. And like, I'm gonna be honest, I realize that I am an entertainment machine largely for a lot of people's enjoyment, but there's a certain point where I have to like, not throw in the towel, but I have to start prioritizing myself over people's enjoyment, hence the whole Bodhi no Crashy thing. Because like, if I'm not having fun, I'm going to assume almost you guys are not going to be having fun. I mean, obviously me ranting about the lighthouse thing probably isn't very enjoyable for people, but like, you gotta realize, like, it is maddening. And same thing with people calling me daddy, or like, oh god, that's a weird story. I've told this a couple of times, but I've had a number of people show up to my streams over the years. I'm gonna say with like mild romantic interest, which is very strange and not comfortable. Never do that. Streamers pick up on that pretty quick, and it is not comfortable to be on the receiving end of that. I've had a couple of people actually pretend to be Shell, or just pretend to not be a Shell, but be my fiance, which is like super creepy. So what's the purpose of the Bodhi no Crashy on this game? Each and every one of these increases resource gain in their vicinity by 50%. So 2 of these together increases my resource gain by... It's multiplicative too, so first one's 150% total, and then after that it's 125%, and so on and so forth. Let's see, Daddy reminds me of God Eater 3. Yep, and I'm not comfortable with that game. It is not... God, Japan creates some weird feelings in me. And none of them are like... I mean, I realize that sounds kind of salacious, which I guess it kind of is, but like... oh god, I just don't want that. I want to sit back and enjoy watching my, like, spiky-haired protagonists fight, like, god clowns that have reshaped the world in their twisted image. Like, that's what I'm there for, like, with JRPGs and stuff. I don't really want to have, like, a little girl or a little boy following me around calling me daddy or, like, master. Oh, even more skeezy than freaking God Eater is the Sword Art Online Fatal, is it Fatal Bullet? Whatever the like pseudo MMO is, co-op looter shooter, where you get to make like a secondary character that's like a smaller character with a higher pitched voice, and it follows you around calling you master. And like originally I had Shell make a character for me as just kind of a fun thing. It's like, okay, Shell's gonna make this like really cute character to go along with my like gaunt horror nerd. Except then it started following me around, calling me master, and like fawning over me like everybody else fawns over Kirito and Sword Art Online. And it's like not okay. So I actually started the whole game over from scratch, sped through the tutorial and associated cutscenes, just so I could have a character that looked identical to my protagonist, so I wouldn't feel like super creeped out anytime dialogue happened. And then I found out that the game was bad, so I gave up. Yeah, Fatal Bullet, there we go. I mean, maybe wasn't that terrible, but like, for me, it was just all fluff and no substance, and it just wasn't fun. Let's see. So Final Fantasy VI, the movie anime, would be ideal. Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of wiggle room there. Like, I actually really liked Final Fantasy 12. I like Final Fantasy 8. 9 was fantastic. And it's fine if there's... It's fine if there's enough variety in between, that, you know, kind of varies here and there, that changes here and there. Like, yeah, you can have something that edges a little bit more towards fan service, or something that's, like, super broody, dark, and edgy for no good reason. But hey, why not? Because it's fun. But, like, God, the problem is a lot of it just... I feel like a lot of it is baiting, for certain fetishes or, like, mindsets that, like, really get certain fans motivated for a series, but it just drives me away real fast. I run screaming whenever it's like young looking characters in like sexualized outfits. I'm like, yep, nope, that's a big no for me, pal. This ain't it, chief. I'm gone. Or like sexual assaults in a game. Like, hard pass on that. I don't need that. I don't want that. So you'd really hate the Monogatari series. I think I tried that. I don't think I liked that. So what are your thoughts on Nier? I actually have never played the original Nier. I should someday. I really like Nier Automata. I thought it was fantastic. I will admit, some of the panty shots were a little weird, but like, whatever. I mean, like, you live with those. I think, actually, no, it's not even the panty shots. It's the audience for Nier makes me uncomfortable more so. Like, for Nier Automata. Because, like, I will try and look at... I was looking at fan art for Nier because I was a big fan of, like, some of the specific areas and just the game in general. And it was all just, like, her butt. And it's like, alright, cool. I'll go do other things, I guess. And Nier has fantastic music. Both Niers have amazing soundtracks. I want to say I prefer Nier Gestalt's soundtrack to Nier Automata, if only because Nier Automata's soundtrack is a little repetitive for me. But it's hard to say. But no, the Nier games are amazing, and I'm hoping Yoko Taro can keep making really good stuff. And I think Nier Automata did well enough that, yeah, you should be set for at least a couple more games. Let's see. But yeah, no, I like Nier Automata. I like a lot of JRPG stuff. I just have trouble. Honestly, I have a lot of trouble with anything from Nippon Ichi Software. A lot of the games that they publish specifically are kind of creepy. Which is kind of mixed feelings, because turns out they're actually, like, possibly going bankrupt in the next couple of years, which is a darn shame? I don't know. It's like, I grew up with the Disgaea series. The Automata won Soundtrack of the Year last year or the year before. Cool. I just like the Gestalt one because it's easier listening. The Nier Automata one has some really good bangers, but a lot of the other songs are just kind of like a little too boisterous for me. I can't just like turn it on and just let the music roll. I'm gonna need just like a massive horde of smelters just going full time for this. It's not solely the fault of the fan base. Nier has some weird butt stuff. Yeah, doesn't surprise me too much. I try not to pay attention to that stuff. Also admit, the B route in Nier Automata was really boring. It had some interesting bits, and I enjoyed it. But, like, I almost kind of wish they had unified A and B down together, or something like that. Because it had, like, a little bit too much repetition, and I got bored. But, like, whatever. Also, people got really mad that I didn't, like, sacrifice myself at the end. I think it's a cool universe. I think my other problem with Nier specifically is for how beautiful some of the bosses were and the characters were. The environments were butt ugly, and like, I realize it's supposed to be post-apocalyptic Earth, but it would have been so much cooler if everything was super overgrown as opposed to partially overgrown. Like, I want some giant trees and, like, I don't know, I've seen that same post-apocalypse, I've seen that same, like, post-apocalyptic setting a billion times, and, like, it gets a little bit boring without some, like, flair or color or something. And the amount of times you had to go through that, like, initial starting zone was just like, yep, bored. That factory set some serious expectations that I think the game didn't really match up for, but whatever. It's not the end of the world. It's still a good game. I just wish it had all been like the factory. Let's see. Does anyone know if Surge 2 is being made? Yes, it is. Lords of the Fallen 2, not so much though. That got, I believe the people in charge of that, recently gave the developers the boot. Like, I think the publisher gave the developers a boot or something like that. I don't know. But Surge 2 is still on the way. They've made plenty of money with the Surge 1, so they're able to make the, second one, no problem. I should make another Vaults. I should probably level up here. Because, yeah, we have enough to get shrines at this point, so I'll work on that one. But yeah, I love my scenery bright and imaginative. Or, if it's not necessarily imaginative, I want it to be bright and colorful. You want an easy example of brilliance in game scenery. Very recently, I played Plague Tale Innocence. That game had pretty, you know, standard medieval fare for its environments, but it was so pretty the whole way through. Especially once you started getting, like, the rat infestation stuff starting to cover things. Like, that set that game up for some amazing shots. And except for, like, the rat gross stuff that was everywhere, that game was just, like, it was totally realistic, quote-unquote. And it looked beautiful, and I loved it. And, like, I'd love... If you can't come up with an interesting setting beyond just, like, modern times or, like, post-apocalyptic Earth, at least make it look pretty. Because, yeah, if your players are going to be there for, like, a 30-hour JRPG, it better be nice to look at. Okay. I'll be interested in seeing what lessons were learned for Surge 2 and Neo 2. Yeah, I liked both of those a lot. Let's see, do we go combat shrines? Yeah, let's go combat and then shrines. I really like Souls-likes, but I'm almost... no, Sekiro was amazing. I just... What was the Souls-like I was playing recently that I really enjoyed? I don't know. Outward was kind of fun. I swear there was another one that I was playing recently, too, that I really enjoyed the combat for. Oh, Ashen! Ashen, I think, is my favorite Souls-like. Actually, favorite game of the genre. More so than any of the other ones, just because of how pretty that game was. I know people would probably jump on that one, but, like, oh, it was so nice looking. I do hope more of them include multiplayer, though. Souls games are, like, perfect for playing with other people. And it's, like, kind of a shame not to. Or, you know, to not be able to. Okay. Let's keep making more steel. Probably make some more bricks. I have 69 bricks. Let's increase that considerably. Let's see, what do I think about Anthem? I kind of don't. So I bought Anthem. I played a little bit of it. But, like, I think part of it is the experience was ruined for me preemptively, and someday I might load it up. If we find out that the servers are shutting down, I'll roll through the story at the very least, and see if I can drag a couple people with me. Or if they actually, like, add some more content, I might run through the game. My problem with Anthem is several-fold. One, when it was in beta, I couldn't record it. Like, it was so choppy, it straight up did not run on my computer. Then when it actually came out officially, it ran well, but for a second I thought I had 2 mining rods in. I got really confused. It ran well, but it was well after the release date, because I was actually homeless, sort of, for when the game actually came out. I was living in a hotel, unable to actually record anything demanding. I only had 1 monitor, and it just was not a good scene for me to, you know, get work done. Let's see, so we gotta do torch spam 1 more time. I'm gonna go do it on the other one. Let's see. But yeah, it was just kind of an awkward situation all around for me. And I didn't really like have the time to sit down and really sink my teeth into it, like some people did, because I was already late to the game. And for the most part, nobody really cared about me covering Anthem to begin with. It was one of those where it's like, you check it out and it's like, oh, Anthem's crap. Okay, no one's gonna watch the series. So I would rather focus on something else, like Forager, for example, which people actually do care about watching, even if it's me just sitting around griping about life. Let's see. But so, I'm personally hoping, like, the weird thing is, I actually believe BioWare has, like, a bit of a banger on their hands. The problem is, they don't know what the hell they're doing with it, and so it's just bad. Like, who's a studio that, like, I would trust? I mean, to some degree, no, I wouldn't hand it to Digital Extremes. They know what they're doing, but I don't know if they'd be able to make it that much better. But, like, I like the idea of Anthem. You know, flying around in the world was really cool. And a lot of the visual designs were great. From Software? No, From Software is not great either at this sort of thing. Like, you would really need... I don't know. Insomniac would probably be able to make an amazing Anthem equivalent. I don't think they'd be able to fix what's currently there. But, like, from what I did play of Anthem, I enjoyed it thoroughly. It just felt very repetitive, and I don't think it should have been a pseudo-MMO like Destiny. I think it should have just been a linear story. They should have actually sat down and had spent their time on it, made it like a full-on just BioWare game, and then just made it co-op so you can play with your friends, and that was it. Let's see. But they did Armored Core and Chrome Hounds. I want to see... Well, so part of it is From Software has lost a lot of their original designers that worked on Armored Core. I want to see From Software make Armored Core. Also, Armored Core plays wildly differently from Anthem. I don't think that would be a particularly comfortable experience to begin with. Trying to, like, convert the control scheme over or something like that. But yeah, just because they made a good mech game does not mean that they would be able to handle Anthem well. The reason why I'm saying Insomniac is because Sunset Overdrive, okay, didn't control at all well, or at all similar to Anthem, but, like, I could see Insomniac doing that game and the genre justice, unlike most people, because Spider-Man was fantastic. I can't really think of many other developers. Like, honestly, games as a service is poisoned, and we're probably not going to see a whole lot of good games as a service games, compared to the amount of, like, really bad ones that just get, like, shit out and then die. That's kind of the fate of many of them. It's the MMO rush, the WoW killer trend from a decade ago all over again. You know, Destiny hit it big because people are desperate for a new good MMO with, like, modern mechanics, because World of Warcraft hasn't changed at all. I mean, yeah, it's changed, but it hasn't, like, changed meaningfully in years. Can I get another lighthouse? At this point, I'm just running around gathering resources without... I can get 2 Bodhi no Crashies. There we go. Guerrilla Games should take over Anthem. Yeah, Guerrilla Games could maybe do a decent job. still want a Dark Souls scale and style Armored Core game. I would just like a Souls-like that looks like Armored Core with Armored Core level customization, but like more Souls-like mechanics. I think that could be kind of fun. I don't know. And what about WildStar? Oh, don't talk about WildStar. That game was cool, and then also kind of bad. I might look into whether or not private servers for that game are viable, because that would be kind of fun someday. I just didn't have the time to play it, and I didn't really want to spend time with it. Yeah, who remembers WildStar, the next big MMO? It was good. They just shot themselves in the foot so hard in making it that there was no coming back. For people that don't know the story of WildStar, it was a game published by NCSoft, which, like, they know how to make decent MMOs most of the time. The problem is, they know how to make old-style decent MMOs, and there's a couple that still work. Like Guild Wars 2 is pretty decent, though I heard that they've had some issues lately, with, like, heavy layoffs and stuff. Let's see, old Bethesda Gearbox with a four-player multiplayer co-op style. See, I prefer that kind of game. I don't really like the, I don't like games as a service. I don't like these weird pseudo MMOs. They're too dicey, and, like, half the time they're kind of, like, shit out as a, like, speed. Like, we gotta make an MMO. Oh, man. How many of you guys remember, oh, what was it? All of the massive, massive number of MOBAs that came out, towards the beginning of this decade. When League of Legends and there's League of Legends, Heroes of New Earth, there's some Lord of the Rings one, there was a Dead Island one, there was, oh, what else was there? There were a bunch. There was a DC superhero one, if I remember right. There were like a billion of them, and like 90% of them were bad. They were all like, the trend is MOBAs right now. Make a MOBA really fast. Gotta spit out a MOBA without really thinking about what makes a MOBA good. We're just gonna make it like Dota, because Dota's popular. Or, yeah, Smite. Let's see. Dawngate? Yes, Dawngate was one of them. That was the Activision published one. I actually was excited for that, because, one of my favorite concept artists was working on it, and I thought that was really exciting. And then it got axed before it. I think it even got released, because they didn't even like have enough pre-orders or some shit to get it going. Yeah, Smite. We've had a couple others. Oh, Gigantic. Gigantic was amazing. Like, I really enjoyed Gigantic when I played it. But then they went weird Microsoft exclusive and then killed their game before it ever even released publicly, effectively. That was a travesty, because that actually had some potential and was kind of fun. And, like, all of these people were racing to make some kind of, you know, they wanted their piece of the pie, and they didn't make a good game. And so I think that's kind of where Anthem is. It's like, it might have actually been really good if they had sat down, took their time, and didn't, like, horribly mismanage the development of it. Because, like, from what I know of the development of, let's see, Bottled Beetles are gonna be kind of tough. Get the Bone Sword, though. Right. I was supposed to be working on torches, but I've been running around mining things like a chucklehead. I shouldn't be doing that. I got better things to do with my time. I got mining rods for this. Let's see, you still don't know why Dawngate was cancelled. Dawngate was cancelled because I think it was Activision. Activision more or less saw the initial numbers and realized that the game had no future and was just going to be a money pit for them, so they axed it before it released because it wasn't going to be good enough, question mark. I don't know. It might have actually had a future, but they gave up on it really fast. Because I think a lot of these developers don't actually know how to, like, build the hype for their game. They just hope that doing a Me Too thing will actually get them enough numbers that they can survive off of it. And sometimes you can. I mean, easy example would be Fortnite. Fortnite is a Me Too to PUBG. It's like, hey, our single player, you know, games as a service, you know, I guess loot box grinder isn't doing so hot. Well, what do? I don't know. Why don't we Why don't we add like a MOBA mechanic to it? What do you know? It actually worked really well. Or not a MOBA, a Battle Royale thing to it. Because it was free, unlike pretty much every other Battle Royale. It was colorful, so the kids loved it. And it was actually competently made because Epic Games knows how to make a good game most of the time. Oh yeah, they had a freaking MOBA that was actually pretty good from what I remember. I think there were issues with it, but I don't remember what they were. And, like, it's a bit of a shame because I actually wanted that one. But I don't play MOBAs with people, so I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, so just kind of Me Tooing in general, just, it doesn't, 99% of the time it doesn't work. I mean, we saw that with the culling. Culling 1 was good, but then they ruined it with updates, so they made Culling 2, which was just bad PUBG. And that died fast. Let's see. So, oh, right. Thank you, 177 Mike, for the 9-month resub. Let's see, how do you like Ark Survival Evolved? I actually really don't. For one simple reason. I want Ark, but with Pokemon. Give me a big sandbox, but have me catch the Pokemon with a Pokeball. And when they die, I have to bring them back to my, like, weird slipshod Poke Center. None of these dinos... None of these, like, big survival elements. Just give me a big sandbox world and make it a Monster Collection RPG. I would love that. I know there's a mod for it, but it still looks like shit. The only thing that looks good in Ark is the environment. And even then, that's kind of just a big lag fest. Let's see. And I've tried to play it in the past. I think it's also one of those where my audience, like whenever I try and play Ark, you just describe Pixelmon. Maybe. But truly, I also don't like Pixelmon because it's a mod. I want somebody to actually make this as a legit game. I find a lot of the mods just don't look good or play well enough. There's actually a mod that adds in Monster Hunter monsters. I heard that was pretty good. See, that would be kind of cool. I could work with that. I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't know. The survival sandbox genre is very limited for me. I don't really enjoy going out and punching progressively different trees to gather new resources. I say as I'm punching trees to gather resources. But the difference between me enjoying this game versus Ark, for example, is automation. You can't really automate Ark that well, and a lot of it relies on, like, really crappy dinosaur AI to do a lot of the work for you. Like, yeah, you can take a Stegosaurus out to go whip up some berries and stuff that you can throw into your farm to feed all your dinos, but, like, it's too much upfront management for me when, like, I'd much prefer to play this game or Factorio or whatever. That I can actually sit down and you know, let the game play itself so I can manage the more important things. Because I know generally when I play Ark, I'd, like, end up with a cloud of dinosaurs following me around, and I'd somehow have to babysit them back to my base, keep them fed, and then I'd stop playing for a week, come back, and they'd all be dead. Like, literally, I played Ark with a bunch of friends back in the day. And one day we left the server running for, like, 2 weeks, like, over Christmas. And yeah, all of our dinosaurs starved to death in the meantime. And we lost everything. And it's like, that just wasn't compelling, and I'm sure there are things that I could have done, like shut the server down. But, like, still killed my enthusiasm for the game, like, real hard. Oh, shrines. Can I make shrines? No, I need royal steel. I should get some royal steel. Let's see, did I see the Satisfactory updates? I did. I should look at it. Yeah, why did I quit Satisfactory? I've actually just been, busy. Sounds like Tamagotchi. What, the management part? Oh, right, the stepping away and they're all dead. Yes. That's why I can't play Tamagotchi at all. My buddy Joe has a bunch of the Digimon, you know, tamer toys or whatever. I can't do it. They'd all starve to death, die, and then I'd just give up on them. There's so much, like, residual guilt over the one of those toys that I had back in back in the day as a kid. Because, yeah, I went away for a while, and came back, and it had shit itself to death. And it was just like an egg surrounded in poop or something like that. I don't remember. It was bleak, and I didn't enjoy that. But yeah, why did I quit Satisfactory? Let's see. It wasn't performing well. I reached the end of available content, and then I got busy, went to PAX, got sick, and I haven't bugged a vac about playing anymore. Anywho. Right. I was getting the next level of shovel or bone amulet. Well, I was. Oh, we can get a shrine at least. Okay. So it's time for us to start cheesing harder. I think I've abused most of the immediate mechanics that I've got. Unfortunately, it's kind of lagging out really hard, but that's okay. Or maybe I'm mistaken. I'm used to the mining rods working a little bit faster than they are, but maybe that's just... I don't know. Either way. Mine all these up. Kill that guy so he's not bothering me. And let's build another shrine. Okay, what do we get? Excavator. Unfortunately, we can't excavate those for a little while. Interesting how much your progress is both much slower and much faster than when you first played this. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Wow, I've been going for 2 hours. I was expecting I'd be done with this faster, but oh well. Industrious and Scholar. There we go. Speed this up. Bust those up. Yeah, so apparently I could have done this a long time ago, and probably should have done this a long time ago. I should probably get the Dexterous perk next time. Oh well. I guess let's go make myself some gloves, maybe? Yeah. Oh, right. I can actually sell these. I'm just gonna sell the mining scrolls. But yeah, I mean, admittedly, I'm doing a bit of a weird goal on this one, and I'm not trying to be, like, hella fast. But it works. Okay, right. I should probably also start getting wallets. Probably also start, conjuring some more creatures. Then again, I should be able to get some more pretty quick here. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that go. Until the digging spots are available again. I should probably get the buff that makes it so shrines... Slime's in my way and I don't like it. I'd like a drone, probably. Okay, let's buy land. I'm just gonna buy along this strip so my mining rods can do stuff. I mean, admittedly, I'm not gonna be able to do too much here. Because I'm probably gonna finish with this pretty damn quick. At this point. Skills! See, why are you restricting yourself to 3 islands? Lack of money, mainly. I was hoarding resources up until now. But... this, challenge, I guess, is just going to keep getting kind of... I'm gonna say more ridiculous from here, but not really. Grabbing steel. Okay, there we go. Do we grab merchant or hoarder? Let's grab hoarder for a while, and I guess merchant. Well, those would have been maybe useful a couple minutes ago, but that's fine. But yeah, I'm not restricting myself to islands. It's just that I didn't have a whole lot of spare money up until very recently. And now I do. And now things get stupid. Okay, so let's bust all these up. Okay, so we are going to need to make some more glass here. As well. Let's grab Industrious again. I guess I'll grab Dexterous so this goes a little bit faster. This is so hacks. Unfortunately, we're not really getting what I'm looking for, but that's fine. Can I buy that? Perfect. And yeah, I don't want to get anything down low, really. Mainly because I'm never gonna look at it. Hell, I'm not even really gonna look at a lot of this stuff. I guess let's build over to these. We might as well grab some of the resources out here. Okay, if I remember right. Yeah, these things will hit me. Oh, but they've got some steel in them. Sweet. Okay. Probably get the upgrades for some of this stuff, but whatever. Later. Okay, so this is a hell of a lot of gems. So I'm going to want to start building my lighthouses over in this general direction. Because, yeah, I'm getting a decent chunk of gems from this, but I can get more. How many gems do I have? Hell if I know. Oh, let's level up. Let's get the, summoning? Yeah, buffs last longer. Because I want the buffs to last decently long here. Let's see, magical shrine. Give me more steel. Give me more glass. Wow, that's a lot of glass. Give me more brick. What do I need for the Nomad Shovel? Sand and bottle beetles. Ah. Well, actually, that's kind of doable. Build mining rod. Okay. Keep the Hoarder buff going, keep the Industrious buff going. Then bust these up again. Because, yeah, you actually only need one shrine in this game, and you can actually have 100% uptime on shrines, or shrine buffs. Admittedly, this is something I generally don't want to do, because it just feels wrong. Like, it feels like a little too abusive, mechanic-wise, but I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to make it to 1,000,000 gold as fast as humanly possible. So, I will do whatever I can to get there. Okay, so we don't need the Druid Scroll. We don't need the Mining Scrolls. I should still have the Market bonus. Perfect. Okay, we don't care about fossils. We don't care about arrows. And I should probably blasto a lot of my gems, because I'm going to be getting a lot more here. Probably have grabbed the builder bonus, but whatever.